All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, Steve Young, former BYU and 49er legend, was recently on a San Francisco-based radio station, and he was talking a little bit about Zach Wilson, the 49ers, and of course, the New York Jets. Now, Steve Young was out here dropping valuable bits of information left and right. I mean, he flat out said that there's no doubt in his mind that he believes that the San Francisco 49ers top option, their top choice, is Zach Wilson. How crazy is that? No way. I mean, to put it in perspective here, the 49ers were at 12 and they shot all the way up. They gave up a king's ransom, 3 first-round picks and a third-round pick to go from 12 to 3 with the Miami Dolphins. What's happening behind the scenes? It's like a weird situation where fans are like left in the dark and we're like, oh my gosh, what's happening behind the veil here? Do the Jets and the 49ers know something that we don't? What's happening? It's strange. He also went on to say that he doesn't see a Zach Wilson 49ers connection. He doesn't see it happening, even though Wilson's family would love to see that. He doesn't see it happening because the Jets are fully committed to Zach Wilson. They have already pushed their chips into the middle of the table, if you will, and have committed to the family. So it's looking like Zach Wilson to the New York Jets is starting to not only just pick up steam, but to solidify. This could very well be happening on draft day, right? Where the New York, we could have our answer, right? It's April 1st right now. It's super late, April 1st. We could have our answer on who the Jets are drafting at spot number 2. It could be Zach Wilson here. Things are pointing in that direction. Okay, so exciting stuff. Now, as far as the San Francisco 49ers role in this whole thing is concerned, I couldn't really tell you. It actually reminds me a lot of, it could remind me a lot of the Philadelphia Eagles back in 2016, right? They shot up the draft. They traded a ton to go from late in the draft all the way up to 2 to pick Carson Wentz, but they didn't know who was going to be on the board with that second overall pick. They just knew that they loved Jared Goff and they loved Carson Wentz. So it didn't really matter who the Rams picked because the Eagles essentially would still be getting the quarterback that they wanted to move forward. They were completely fine with both of them. Now, could that be a similar situation here? It's obviously a little bit different because Trevor Lawrence is the top guy and he's going 1 for sure. And then the second guy is Zach Wilson, Justin Fields. It's kind of a mixed bag. You have different opinions from different people. Obviously, different quarterbacks fit differently in different systems. I know it's a mouthful, but all in all, you don't really have that solidified, clear-cut number 2. Yes, all 32 teams can agree that he is the QB2 in this draft. You have teams much like 2018 where we had, the Josh Allens of the world, the Josh Rosens, the Sam Darnolds, the Baker Mayfields, the Lamar Jacksons, rated differently on pretty much every team's boards. Everybody was in a different slot. So this season's draft, right, the 2021 draft class could be a very similar situation to 2018 where certain teams value certain guys more. And that's completely understandable. Could the 49ers be in a similar spot that the Eagles were in where they're like, you know what, we know Trevor's going to be gone. Zach Wilson will probably gone, and he's our number 1 option. So if anything crazy happens, he's our guy and he'll be there. Because we know the Falcons liked Zach Wilson and we know the Eagles liked Zach Wilson. So we need to solidify that 3rd overall pick just in case something happens to where Wilson, slips out of the Jets' grasp. They go with Fields, they go with Lance, whoever. Wilson's on the board at 3, we can take him. If not, we also really love Mac Jones. We really love Trey Lance or Justin Fields, whoever it may be. I know it's starting to look like it's Mac Jones, but I don't really know. I'm not so sure about that. We'll see. I actually did a mock draft. It's done. I just have to finish up some editing. That should be up hopefully by this weekend, but it's beside the point. What's the 49ers role in all of this? I don't really know. I don't think anybody knows. But I mean, Steve Young just comes out of nowhere, and obviously he's a little bit more connected to the situation than many are because he played at BYU. He has those connections, and then of course he played at San Francisco as well. So it's looking like Wilson and the family, right? Wilson's family want to go to San Francisco based off of, this whole thing. And then of course the Zach Wilson interview where he had maybe a couple months ago where he, went into detail about his fit in the 49ers offense. Specifically, this was obviously before Mike LaFleur and Saleh joined up with New York. So maybe his opinion has shifted a little bit. Obviously the 49ers are in a much better position roster wise than the Jets are, but they do play in a tougher division. So you could kind of spin it either way, but all in all, pretty crazy stuff. Crazy stuff coming from Steve Young. Super late, right? Super late, just out of nowhere this stuff is coming out. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you make of this? Is it anything to read into? Do you think Steve Young is lying? Or do you think there is some truth to this? Do you think he actually knows a little bit of what's happening behind the scenes? So I'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.